Hello and welcome back. From the previous video, we got our character moving around. We put some particle effects here. So this is where we currently are. The character can jump, but really he can't land on these platforms here. So what we'll do is we'll look at options for us to animate this platform and also animate this one in two different ways. We can animate it with the animator, any animation, and we can also animate it with code, which gives us more control over how we use it, and it's easier to add code to any other prefab or any other object that we want to be able to do the same motion. So we'll look at both ways. The first way we're going to look at in this video is using the Unity's animation tab. So the first thing I need to do here is actually give this some ability for my character to jump on there. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a collider. So I'm going to add a box collider 2D. Once I do that, I'm going to select it and then I am going to reshape it. There we go. And because this is a prefab, all I need to do is apply it. And then what you'll see is that this one also has a box collider connected to it. So let's see what happens here. So he can jump on there. And oh, that's kind of weird. I know what it is. It's the collider on the character. But for now, he can jump on all of those things here. Now, I'm not sure if I like the idea of him going under there like this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a different kind of collider on here. So instead of a box collider, I think what we'll use, so let me remove this. I'm going to add another kind of collider. And that's going to be an edge collider or even a polygon collider. But the edge collider allows me to take this edge here and I'm going to edit this edge and then I can put it where I want it to start and then drag this edge all over here. Now a cool thing about this is that I can add more edges. So all I gotta do is select and drag. So I'm gonna drag this all the way over here. It's just a select and drag. That's all I'm doing. And what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure that it follows the contour of the object itself. So once I push it over here, it'll snap and turn red, and that's how I know I have myself a full object here. And then once I'm done with that, all I need to do is apply that. And it's going to be applied to all the other prefabs. As you can see, this one also has it. So when I run this again, now you can see I can't really go past this. So all I need to do now is try to maybe make this a little bit shorter, so or make his jump power capable, his run jump capable of getting up there without getting stuck on there. Now the reason why my character is getting stuck on there is when you look at my character, you see this box shape for his head. That's why he's getting stuck, because it's getting stuck inside of the box shape itself. If I look at this here, he's getting stuck in between this area here. So it's probably a good idea for us to, if you don't want that to happen, to maybe change the size of this. So I'm going to select this box shape and maybe do something like this. And you know, you can change it later on, but for right now, this will be fine so we don't get stuck in that one spot. So now when I press play, after making those changes, when my character runs and he tries to jump up on that area, you notice he doesn't get caught anymore. So I would have to run and try to jump up there. So there's no easy way to get over to the other side. All right, so let's look at creating an animation for this platform. Basically, all I need to do is go here to the window, and I'm going to go here to animation. Not animator, but animation. When I click on that, this window right here will pop up. Now, most of the time, it pops up like this, like a window of its own. So when it does this, you just go ahead and drag this tab down here, and you'll be able to use it from there. The second thing you need to do is make sure you have an animations folder here. Now, I think Unity uses the subfolders as lowercase. No, it does use it as uppercase. So that's why I named mine animations here. Now, I already have an animation in here, but just so we could be sure, I'm not going to remove my player animation, but I will remove these platform animations here. All right, so now all I have is this player. So all I need to do is select my platform, go to the animation tab, and then hit create. And now it wants to create a new animation, and what it did was it found my animations folder. If it didn't, make sure yours puts it in there. I'm going to just call this platform. Platform horizontal. It's not vertical. So that's good enough. I'm going to hit save. Now, I have to make sure that I place my platform where I want it to start. So I want my platform to start here, and it's going to go here, and it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth. So with that being said, what I have to be able to do is press on this record button to start recording my animation. But you have to know exactly what you want to do when you're recording animation, because every move you make can make what's called a keyframe. So know what you want before you start hitting that record button. The second thing you'll look at when I hit my record button is that these positions here will turn red, meaning that's what's being recorded. So I'm going to hit the record button. And then as I start moving this, you'll look at this here. I'm going to just nudge it once. And as you see, it turns red. This turns red, and I get this keyframe here. That's where I want my frame to start. So now what I need to do is drag my timeline all the way to where I want it to end. I'm going to drag it at 30. And so now I can go ahead and drag this to where I want it to end. Something like that for now. Now I need to be, because if I go back and forth here, as you can see, it does go back. It does this once, but it doesn't do it twice. So in essence, what I need is for this one right here to be the center, not necessarily the end of the animation. So I'm going to drag this between 30 divided by 2. So I have 30 seconds here. I'm going to divide that by 2. I get my 15. And then I'm going to copy. I'm going to highlight this first frame. I'm going to hit Control-C, and I'm going to paste it right here at the 30 millisecond, I think that is, frame. So now what I have is this loop going on. So I want to smooth this loop out a little bit. Right now it's kind of rugged as I go through. So I'm going to go down here to the curves tab, and then I'm going to select, as you can see here, the red one is the one that's being altered. So I'm going to select that one. I'm going to right click on that, and then I'm going to hit flat. Sorry, not broken. I'm going to do the same thing with the one over here. And I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to hit flat over there. And then I can drag these out if I want it, or up, or whatever. So now when I run it, it's fast, but it's a little bit more smooth. And I'm going to change the speed later on. So now I'm done with this animation. I'm going to stop recording. And in my project, what you'll see inside the animations folder, you'll have this platform, and then you'll have this platform horizontal animation. This is the animation grid. That's what's going to allow me to alter the speed of this. This right here, this animation grid, I would call it, is directly connected to this this platform as an animator. So in order for me to edit this, I can take this platform, this controller, double click it, and it'll bring me to this grid here. So this right here, this entry point, is where all the animation will start when your application begins. So this will go, it'll go from here to here. in order for me to achieve the slower speed that I wanted, I need to select this one right here. And then I'm going to change the speed from 1 to maybe 0.5. Now all I need to do is test that animation, go to my game view, I'm going to run it. And there it is. Now, that may be too fast. Maybe I'll slow it down for the first level. So I'm going to go back to my animator, select this one, and maybe 0.3. And there we go. So now I got a game actually starting going on here. That's a little bit challenging. Oh, crap. The character doesn't move with it because he has no friction on there. So that could be a game. You know, that could be something on your game to where the person has to move. We can fix that later. But for right now, we got this moving, and at least we have our animation already set. In the next video, we're going to look at adding an animation to this one, except we're going to do it in code. And the reason is because let's say if I were to take this platform here. So I'm going to go back to the scene. If I were to take this platform here, and it's a prefab, and I were to hit apply, it'll add this same animation to this prefab. However, it's going to add the X, Y, and Z axes to this, which means this is going to plop into place here, which is not what you expected and is not what we wanted. I may want this one to move up and down or some other way. So we don't want to attach this animation onto something else because the X, Y, and Z axes is attached to it. So this is why we want to do it in code. Code would allow us to add it to anything we want and adjust how we want it to move. It gives us a lot more control. I'll see you then.